Dhritashtra was very anxious to hear about the death of the powerful Rakshasa, Kirmira. He then inquired from Vidhura, "O Vidhura, I want to hear how the Rakshasa Kirmira, who had no equal, was slain by Bhima." "Listen, O king," Vidhura replied, "as I relate these events. Formerly blessed sages and Brahmanas inhabited the forest of Kamyaka, but due to the presence of the Rakshasas, they could not live there peacefully. When the Pandavas attempted to enter the forest of Kamyaka, a frightful Rakshasa appeared before them blocking their path. There were 8 teeth protruding out of his mouth, and his eyes were the color of flaming copper. The hair on his head was red like fire and stood erect in a fearful way. He was roaring loudly, petrifying all living creatures in the forest. The movements of his steps caused the very earth to tremble, and all the animals in the forest fled in terror. A violent wind arose, and dust scattered in all directions. Seeing the Pandavas were fearless in his presence, he obstructed their path, appearing like a huge mountain before them. Draupadi closed her eyes in horror, and her husband surrounded her for protection. Dhaumya, who possessed great mystic power, chanted various mantras, destroying the fearful illusion created by the demon. With the illusion dispelled, the mighty Rakshasa expanded his eyes in rage, seeming like death personified to all living creatures. King Yudhishthira then inquired from the demon, "Who are you and tell us why you are obstructing our path?" "I am the brother of Baka," Kirmira replied, "and the friend of Hidimva. My name is Kirmira. I am the lord of this Kamyaka forest, and I obtain my food by daily subjugating men in battle. By killing all of you, I shall feast on your flesh and blood. Who are you, and for what reason have you come to the Kamyaka forest?" Yudhishthira then informed the man-eater, "I am King Yudhishthira, the son of Pandu, and these are my brothers, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula and Sahadeva. I have been deprived of my kingdom and have now entered the forest for the period of 13 years. Vidhura continued, "Kirmira said to Yudhishthira, 'It is by good luck that fate has fulfilled all my desires. With my upraised weapons, I have been searching the earth to revenge the death of my brother Baka. I have been searching for Bhima, but now I see that he is present before me in the dress of a Brahmana. Bhima has slain my brother, but truly I say that he is a coward, for he killed my brother Baka when he was hungry and weak. Bhima also killed Hidimva in the same way, and then by force he stole his sister. This fool has now come into the forest in the middle of the night when the Rakshasas are most powerful. By slaying this cruel Bhima, I will be freed from the debt I owe to my brother and my friends. I will kill Bhima and devour him before your very eyes." Provoked by Kirmira's words, the mighty armed Bhima uprooted a tree 30 feet in height, clipping it off its branches and leaves. Bhima approached the Rakshasa and brought the tree down upon the head of the Rakshasa. Kirmira, however, did not move nor did he seem affected by that blow. The Rakshasa also uprooted a tree and approached Bhima, swinging it with all his might. It appeared like the mace of Yamaraja, but had no effect on Bhima. Bhima and the Rakshasa uprooted all the trees in that area with the intent of killing each other. When neither of those mighty armed heroes could defeat the other with trees, Kirmira tore up a huge boulder and flung it at Bhima. The boulder, however, bounced off Bhima's head, not harming him in the least. Bhima and the Rakshasa wrestled one another and struck one another with their fists that were as strong as thunderbolts. Remembering his hatred for Duryodhana and looking for some way to release that anger, Bhima seized the Rakshasa with his robust arms, throwing him on the ground with great ferocity. He then grabbed him by the waist and began to whirl him around till he became senseless. Lifting Kirmira up, he bounced him off the ground. The Rakshasa had become weak, and Bhima, grabbing him by the arms, squeezed him with all his strength. In great anxiety the Rakshasa screamed with his mouth wide open, causing the whole earth to tremble. He began to vomit blood, and his whole body was a mass of broken bones. Upon witnessing the superhuman strength of Bhima, his brothers were struck with wonder and glorified his prowess. After the death of this terrible ogre, they then set out along with the Brahmanas for the Dvetavana forest. Vidhura said, "Thus Kirmira was slain by that king of the warriors, Bhimasena. As I was passing through the forest I saw the broken body of that fearless Rakshasa. I have heard of this achievement from the Brahmanas present with Yudhishthira." Hearing the account of Kirmira's slaughter, King Dhritashtra sighed in sorrow and became absorbed in fearful thought.